All right, it's that time of the month where we're going to talk about the top 10 characters for month of May 2021. I got to give a big shout out to everyone that came out last month and liked April's video. I think it was my most liked video of the entire month. Huge! I just want to give a big shout out to everybody that came out like that. And we're going to talk about the single most defining character that's come to the game since Silver Surfer. Yeah, we're going back to back, like absolute best characters ever. Kestrel and Silver Surfer are probably best two characters in the game right now. I'm convinced of that. And before we talk about Kestrel's kit, we got to talk about the honorable mentions first that probably should have made this list, but Kestrel pretty much negated a lot of their value. So we're going to talk about nine characters in depth, but here's a list of characters that are not on the list solely because of Kestrel: Ultron, Doc Ock, Dark Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, Hela, and Doom will make the list, but Doom actually struggles against Kestrel too. Why is Kestrel so amazing? First of all, she's a stat beast. She has quite high stats. We're talking like Black Bolt level damage and stats. High. Doom, Silver Surfer, and Kestrel have stats through the roof, and they're quite powerful. But I think the single most important thing in her kit, other than her pinging the characters, which is also amazing, is that her charge mechanic. So she spawns with charge, and while she has charge, nobody can spawn or a summon or a clone, which basically is, Dark Phoenix, get wrecked. Ultron, my goodness. Doom struggles. Mr. Sinister can't clone. So while she has charge, enemies can't summon or clone, and this makes her just an insane character. I mean, I can't tell you the number of times I've gone up against Dark Phoenix in Alliance War, and guess what? Dark Phoenix doesn't spawn. Wow. It's a big deal. I put her on defense on Arena, and that basically prevents my ally, my opponent, coming in on offense from using characters like Hela or Phoenix or Doc Ock. I mean, it's just kind of a big deal. She's very useful against Doom. And then once this has happened, when she finally takes a turn, she loses charge. So while she has charge, enemies can't summon or clone. But then once that is triggered and she takes a turn, on her turn, she loses charge. The next most important thing that just makes her bonkers a crazy good, during ally turn, and if an enemy with defense down is attack the most injured enemy for 400% damage. And I primarily like using her with Shatterstar because of that. You know, he can go quite quickly and put defense down on opponents, and she just pings. Also, Kestrel single-handedly is making some of those skill nodes on the Doom Raid completely one-shottable because she brought back the usefulness of Nick Fury. Black Widow's getting play in there. I just love Kestrel. The only question that I have about Kestrel, is she better than Silver Surfer? I don't know. They're both really good. For me, those are the two best characters in the game, Silver Surfer and Doom. Right now, there is a Kestrel event that I believe is very player-friendly, and I want to highly encourage you to take advantage of the event that's currently running and do what you got to do to get as many yellow stars as you possibly can get on Kestrel. She is absolutely amazing. And we've only talked about her passive. The rest of it is quite good too. This right here, I've seen her. The order that the way that this worked is amazing. It clears all the positive effects. Then it applies defense down. Then it does monster damage while it has defense down, and it's piercing, so it bypasses armor. And this almost always pops off because of the extra focus. And then it says characters killed by this cannot be revived. Hopefully that'll be something useful potentially when we come up against heroes for hire. Not sure how that's going to play out, but it is an interesting mechanic. Then this ability I actually end up like using probably just as much as her ultimate, her special, because this will hit, it'll cleave and hit multiple targets. It hits twice. It applies defense down. I like using this a lot in raids because it puts defense down on multiple targets, which makes her passive ping all the time. And then even her basic attack chains and applies defense down. All of her run, don't walk. She is very, very, very good. There's no doubt in my mouth. One of the problems I have with Kestrel is that I look at Silver Surfer and I look at Kestrel and I look at the impact that they have on the game, and I look at the impact that Doom had the game. It kind of makes me feel like I wasted a lot of resources trying to get Doom. Because if I look at the sheer awesomeness of Silver Surfer and Kestrel, and Doom is good too, but I don't find him as useful as Kestrel. I use Kestrel everywhere. RTA, Alliance War, my arena, both offense and defense. Every game mode, Doom raids and skill. Plus, I'm talking her up. She's also skill and tech, so I can use her on 2 lanes. It's kind of like Doom has 2 origins or whatever they call it. But anyways, I could use her on two legs of the Doom raid. She's the best. I highly recommend all the T4s on her just because of the sheer amount of usefulness of her. Definitely her passive. I would start with the passive and her ultimate. And then Striker on her seems to be the way to go. Let's go next onto the list. And we got to talk about Shatterstar. Now, when I'm talking about Shatterstar, normally we talk about Longshot. And if you look at last month's list, I talk about Longshot. Longshot is kind of what the team, but I'm really talking about the X Factor team. And the reason why I wanted to bring up Shatterstar and not, we could talk about Longshot too, but we're talking about the entire X Factor team. You really can't use Shatterstar without Longshot. They kind of are a combo. But the reason why I wanted to talk about Shatterstar is because of this ability right here, applies defense down, and how well that works with Kestrel. It's just amazing how well that this works with Kestrel. Now, what I really like about the X Factor team is, Longshot passive gives them turn meter, and I like pairing them up with a very fast character, specifically Zemo. Zemo gets them started. Shatterstar applies the defense down. Longshot does AoE. Kestrel starts pinging the team. Good night. And unfortunately, the problem is then it becomes a mirror match of which Zemo goes first, and then that raises the importance of characters like Emma, and even Cable is getting used in RTA, just to make sure that you don't have to go to a coin flip situation against Zemo. X Factor doing amazing things in Alliance War. Right now, I'm primarily using Kestrel as my 5th on the X Factor on offense Alliance War. But Namor works fine there too. I'm sure we're going to get a 5th X Factor at some point, but the synergy between Shatterstar and Kestrel is quite good, so I wanted to include him on the list. Longshot, of course, is in the top 10, but you can't really use Shatterstar without Longshot, and you can't really use Longshot without Shatterstar. Polaris and Multiple Men are great. They make a great team a little bit better. They're very useful, but the team is about these two without a doubt. Next on the list is Silver Surfer. What do we got to say about Silver Surfer? Stats through the roof, 2-turn ability block, speed that ramps up. He can clear positive effects, one of the best basic attacks in the game. But something that we haven't used yet, but we're going to start be using a lot, because there's so much stuff packed into his kit, is that his ultimate has a way of clearing charge, and he's the only character who can do that. Clear charge, and in addition to all positive effects, apply ability block for 2 turns for primary target. Cannot be blocked or counterattacked. Everything about this this kit is bonkers, by the way. But this charge is going to be pretty important, I think, going forward, specifically against heroes to hire. This particular mechanic does do a focus resistance check, so it can be resisted, and that's kind of interesting. So it's not like a guaranteed thing like turn meter reduction. One of the things that I've also been using quite a bit on the Silver Surfer kit, because there's so much good stuff, is that if he's paired up with a Hero Cosmic, which is typically for me going to be Longshot, gain additional focus, and allies gain 50% focus. That's been very important to give that extra focus to like a character like Zemo, so Zemo can land the ability block on the opposing Doom. It's kind of a big deal. And then also, once he does finally take a turn and everybody's got heal block coming from his ultimate, then they all get lowered resistance. Also, this ability right here applies defense down. Defense down is also very useful with Kestrel. Again, Silver Surfer, best character in the game. His speed ramps up. There's just so many things. He takes his negative effects on him and throws them on the opponent. And if you use Striker, which I recommend using Striker, then he double taps again, and then he could basically take all the negative effects on him and give them over there, and then you can suck them and then take all the positive effects. It's crazy. And Kestrel has a mechanic like that. She just basically self-cleanses. And this guy right here, you can ability block him, but then guess what? He's just going to basic attack you and give you the ability block back, which is kind of fun, right? Again, these two are just very, very, very good and amazing. Can't say enough good things about them. Next on the list is Jubilee, and I wanted to include Jubilee on this list because, and just talk about the Astonishing X-Men. And I'm specifically when I talk about the Astonishing X-Men, I think they're just going to have an amazing run for a long time. Jubilee, Bishop, and Beast, the three of them together do amazing things. Very useful, of course, inside of Alliance War and on offense and defense. I believe they're a little bit better on offense. Right now I'm using them on defense. But also they're just very useful inside of the mutant nodes and the Doom raids. A lot of success with them. Can't say enough good things about them. I think they're going to be useful for a long time, specifically those three. As things keep considering moving into hybrids on hybrids and hybrids, I believe that Kitty and Iceman will fall off of the list. Anyhow, let's move on the list. I think we've talked about Jubilee a lot. I just wanted to include them on the list, but actually I'm finding I'm not using them as much as I thought I was going to. But this month, so many of the characters just got bumped off the list because of Kestrel. Mr. Sinister, Hela, Phoenix. Oh my God, even Ultron. And I just want to point out, Ultron may be making the list next month. Sometime in the middle of this month, we're going to be getting an opportunity to get red stars on Ultron. Unfortunately, only up to 3. But I'm wondering if a 20% stat boost on Ultron will make him viable on the top 10 list. Possibly, we will have to see. I was kind of hoping they would go 4 or 5, but 3 maybe, because if you play inside of balanced PvP, Ultron's probably one of the best characters because there's no red stars in balanced PvP. Next on the list is Baron Zemo. Zemo does so many. Zemo's amazing. Plus, we got Dancing Zemo from the Winter Soldier and Falcon TV show, and he's great. I truly love Zemo. First of all, he is anti-minions, right? He does a lot of damage to minions. But him going first and early and clearing all the positive effects, basically he just negates the usefulness of like pre-taunting takes like Red Guardian or the early defense up from a character like Shuri, right? It's crazy. He does so many great things. I just love this guy, and mostly because I have him with Raider, and he gets the passive on long shot going early quite a bit. And so that you get that extra turn meter. So Zemo goes first, and then you've got Shatterstar going, then long shot going, and then if you pair it up with Kestrel or X-23, the team's dead before you even go, and it becomes this coin flip of which Zemo goes first. Zemo, I'm using Zemo in Alliance Wars like everywhere against so many good teams. He's highly flexible. I think Heroes for Hire is going to change the game a lot in Alliance War. We're going to be multiple videos discussing on how that changed Alliance Wars over the next month, I'm sure, once we have Misty Knight. This guy right here will probably get moved around a lot in Alliance War, but I'm currently using him on defense in Arena and on offense in Arena. Easily a top 10 character, and also he is Mr. Unfun Pants in RTA. Let's move on. Ebony Maw. Okay, so Ebony Maw is great, and yes, we've been talking about this for a little bit of time about the changing of the guard in the Arena from Black Order, Thanos and Black Order. But I just want to say Ebony Maw is still worth investing resources into it because he is an essential for Dark Dimension 3 and 4. He's also used constantly inside of the raids, the Doom raids, along with Thanos. And also, Black Order is still one of the best offensive war teams, without a doubt. They're highly effective, and so I don't want to say anything bad about Ebony Maw. And the other thing about Ebony Maw, I don't think you need to take him above 5 red stars with gold promotion credits. I don't think he needs it. He's quite good at 5 stars. He's a kit-based character. He does so many great things, and Black Order is still good. Amazing. You know, just because Doom is here and taking over the arena doesn't mean that Black Order's over. No, you can still put resources. You know, if you're just getting Black Order unlocked and up and running, yeah, you shouldn't have any hesitancy or resistance to upgrading the key characters like Ebony Maw and Thanos. Where I would back off and not maybe put so many resources as I did personally is into a character like Corvus. He just doesn't need it. And if I could have some of those resources back, I would. But I had a good run with Black Order, and they're still quite effective inside of Alliance War. Next on the list is Doctor Doom. So this guy is just like a mini boss, really. You know, it's like you see him on defense, and you're like, okay, I have to play around him. And there's a ways to counter him. He's not invincible, but... You know, that being said, when he does go off, you often just lose in the match, and he can solo an entire team. So, like for example, I went into there was a solo Doom on defense in Alliance War, you know, on a second attack, and I took in Shadowlands, and I thought, and it was in Cargo Bay, and I thought, I should be able to kill a solo Doctor Doom with my Shadowlands. Shadowlands is an amazing offensive war character in Alliance War. Well, it was Cargo Bay, so he spawned with immunity. For some reason, I couldn't clear it off of him with my Elektra and my Moon Knight, right? And then I couldn't apply ability block because he had immunity with White Tiger. He wasn't on cooldown, and guess what? He deleted my team. I'm dead serious. A Doom soloed my Shadowlands team. Now, that's of course, is a very, very niche, strange occurrence, but it actually happened. And I looked at my phone when it happened. I went, did that just happen? Did I just get soloed by a Doctor Doom? And it's a kind of a fluke, but yeah, he's the rewards to DD4. He's very good. He has changed the meta for the better, in my opinion. I wasn't a fan of the mirror match of Black Order and Black Order. But yes, the meta in an Alliance, in Arena, is definitely putting Doom on defense, and also having Doom on defense in Alliance War creates a challenge because he's like a mini boss. A lot of great things. Plus, the main thing I think for Doom, the value to Doom to me, is that he is tech and mystic, so he is useful in two legs of the Doom raid, getting mostly a lot of use out of him there. Next on the list is Emma Frost, and Emma Frost is and will, I think, be relevant for a long time for a lot of different reasons, mostly because she's a kit-based character and her abilities are going to scale well over time. Applying minus 10% per speed is very useful, like I've been talking about several times about which Zemo goes first. Emma can help with that. Absolutely. She's very tanky. She has the ability of cleansing the team and getting rid of negative effects. This makes her good on Doom teams because she can cleanse the ability block off of Dr. Doom, and you have to basically kill the Emma if you want, or ability blocker if you don't want the Doom to go off. And then also right here, stripping all the positive effects away from the team, applying blind and doing like a targeted nuke with mind control is amazing. She will make this list for a long time. She's very, 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 very good. All right, let's keep going. And we're going to talk about Symbiotes. And I just wanted to put Symbiotes on this list because Symbiote Spider-Man, of course, is the leader of the Symbiotes. And they're going to be very useful in Dark Dimensions. Must have team for Dark Dimension 3, Dark Dimension 4, of course. Also, they're vital for the Doom raids. And they're highly effective counter in Alliance War. It's the Symbiotes. Now, I mean, it is a thing, right? The Symbiotes are a thing. I think they're amazing, and I don't want to not talk about the Symbiotes. So Symbiotes are going to be on this list for a long time to come. It is quite good. All right, well, that'll wrap up the list, and I do want to say stay on the lookout over the next month because we're going to be talking a lot about Heroes for Hire and how it's impacting This team right here, Heroes for Hire, is going to definitely impact Alliance War because it is a puzzle for sure. And so there's going to be a lot of videos about, we have to figure out effective counters to it, but that's going to change a lot of things for sure. And a lot of teams that we're currently using on defense Alliance War are probably going to be pulled off of defense just to be moved on to offense. And this is going to slow down Alliance Wars for sure. All right. Well, guess what time it is? Now it's time for the giveaway. I really hope you liked this video today, because if you did, you are in luck. For every single person who likes this video, you will be getting for free in your account an 8-star Luke Cage. This is not a scam. Yeah, this was the blog post picture from the other day. It says, unhappy players, and Ebony Maw says, talk to the hand peasants, and that's Boundless Bugs. Boy, we've been plagued with bugs. Boy, I hope that this turns around. This game seems like a very important part of the Scopely business model, and hopefully they step in and get some people hired so we don't have as many bugs. Let me know what you think in the comment section. And I just want to say also, I did remove a lot of characters that normally are auto ads in there, and they are still probably top 10 characters, but I just kind of wanted to make a point by removing them off the list because of Kestrel. You know, those are characters like Doc Ock, Phoenix, Mr. Sinister, Hela, Ultron. Even Doom has struggles with Kestrel. That's how important Kestrel is in this entire thing. All right. Thanks for watching. Keep on getting. See you next month. Bye for now.